Hello, my name is Lowell, pronouns he, him, and this is our second session of Apocalypse Key's Cinefantastique. This is a 2-month run that we're doing here on Open Hearth Gaming. You can find out more about Open Hearth at openhearthgaming.com. I think it's .com. I'll have to check. I'm pretty sure it is. But anyway, you can find out about us there. We have a calendar app that supports us. We have a Discord. You can check that out there. And we have a revived podcast that we're working on getting out there. If you follow the previous Gauntlet podcast, which came from the community, we are in our first intro mission. This is a short complexity 2 mystery that is intended to kind of introduce the characters to the basic play. And I'm going to have our players reintroduce their characters here, starting with Amanda.
Yeah, hi, I'm Celine. I use any pronouns and I'm playing Amanda. Use she, her pronouns. Amanda is the found. She was a sentient book that some entity pushed a lot of memories into, and she can take human form now, which maybe has something to do with the memories, who knows? She doesn't. She has little memories of herself. She has all these other memories that she can't really understand. So, yep. But she is here with the vision to do things and well, yeah, help people, I guess. Yeah, helping people sounds good. So probably.
Excellent. And tell us, like, what's the basics of the moves that you have, just so we can remember what those are.
My moves are you can't hide your heart from me. I am sensitive to surface thoughts and strongest feelings of those around me. And I can deepen my senses and ask questions of people about what's going on with them. And the other one is a man of a thousand faces. I've learned how to reflect the memories of others to help them see who they wish to see. So I can basically just change shape. And it says here, and this is a question, when you allow your form to fluctuate and take on the face of another, is this limited to humanish, humanoid shapes, or is there
No,
anything that
I think you can probably shape yourself to whatever that person wants to see, whatever they expect to
oh,
see.
yeah, okay, that's cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I also have a division move, the Forbidden Archives. I have, when I reveal that I brought one of the forbidden books with you, I can roll. I can say, "Oh, I've got this tome that wants to bite me," and then I have to describe a couple of things. But right now, I have not yet revealed that I brought a book.
Excellent. Excellent. And then Wendell, the Hungary.
Yeah, Wendell is a former academic turned magician turned uh, magist ma bleh, magic horror, uh, absorbing magic and secrets from people. Uh, some things I can do is just eat thoughts and magic from people. And also the additional moves I've chosen are the better to eat you with, my dear, which lets me essentially eat a clue and get some more out of it that other people that can't eat clues. Uh, and your ruin on my lips, which lets me eat some of their ruin of another PC.
Nice. And then Samael.
Sorry, guys, I need to get off thing for like 5 minutes. I got something to deal with here. I
Okay.
apologize.
All right. Um, well, we'll bring back Samuel in a minute. Let me go through just to remind us of where we're at. Our lines and veils to people at home, if they're listening, if people do, and they do occasionally. What we have for lines and veils, we have a hard line on sexual assault, cannibalism, and torture by the PCs, and we have a veil on general torture. And we have lures for things that people are interested in, fractured realities, and body horror. So those are things that people are interested in exploring during play. So I wanted to kind of re-establish where we were last time. We started out, we had some setup about Division HQ, what that was like, who the people were. You're in the Department of Change, which is the department that deals with alternate realities and alternate reality incursions and changing realities. When those occur, the department is sent out to deal with those kinds of incidents. And you were just in the effectively cafeteria of the enormous room that makes up the majority of your base that is kind of blocked off and into different segments. When you suddenly found yourself on site at a seemingly abandoned factory, you saw Egther, who is an agent who's the last of some kind of divine race. You had no memory of coming here. He said that you had gone in an hour ago and then just suddenly flash back here. Um, uh, he gave you the briefing on the thing. Apparently, the department had been monitoring the activities of a group of occult scavengers slash mercenaries, bankrolled by a tech bro named Chambers. They have been operating near altered sites over the last few years, so the department had been following them. 48 hours ago, a previously closed door power that's simply called the device had apparently reappeared and become active again. And when the department sent people in, it was already gone. You then got word from an agent named Weeper, who's embedded in Chambers' organization, that something had been delivered, gave you a particular site, but then the department lost contact with Weeper. And you were sent to essentially secure the door, find Weeper, and deal with any potential harbinger. Um, and Amanda read Egther a little bit, and Egther seemed to be scared, maybe less relieved that you weren't asking them to go in with them to this, that they didn't want to, they were afraid of going into the building. And then when you went inside, you were there were scattered slides and negatives and film bits all over the ground as you walked through this factory floor, and you were attacked by these after images in the course of that. And just to note, uh, we did get a key, and that was uncovered by Samuel. Essentially, saw after images of some kind of apocalypse being acted out by some of these sort of keyframes in the area. So I do want to roll back just a little bit here. And I've got some establishing questions based on some things that we kind of know here. Just to give you to build maybe a little bit of a picture up. Uh, Amanda, you've been with the department for a bit. Um, uh, you've had an encounter with Chambers mercenaries slash agents in the past. Um, Tell us what happened.
And Chambers is the tech bro, right?
He is the tech bro.
Oh, okay. Um, I think what happened was this was something to do with, I think, a floppy disk, actually, that apparently was cursed, maybe, or something. And Chambers we got notice that maybe somebody in Chambers' vicinity, at least, maybe himself, wanted to get this thing, and we had to go there and argue with them and tell them some things that they actually maybe didn't want to hear but should have. Like basically, I think what Amanda did was just read their deepest desires and then tell them to everybody who's around. And then they started infighting a little, or having some personal drama at least, and that gave my the other agent the opportunity to abscond with the floppy disk. So it's somewhere in our archives now, and never to be looked at again, or be who knows.
Absolutely. So tell me, the team that you ran into, were they more like a talkie team of representatives or more of a weaponized wet work team or some combination, or what were they
Yeah.
like?
Oh, they were a wet work team. I
Okay.
think psychoanalysis works so much better on these kinds of guys who never look at their emotions, basically. And
Hmm.
then if you tell them, hey, aren't you into this other agent? I'm pretty sure they hate you. And then they start arguing and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was
Men would rather join a suspicious mercenary organization than go to therapy. Yeah,
yes,
absolutely.
exactly.
Excellent. And let me come back to you, Cinna. Um, you have a strong interest in the occult and secrets and things like that. Um, and in the past, you have worked with Egther, who you met first, the agent who is on the ground. And what did he tell you about what happened to the rest of his people? Uh, and how do you know he was lying?
So if I remember correctly, you mentioned last time that he was like one of the last giants of
Yeah.
yeah. I think he told me something about them walking into the sea and like he was the only one who wouldn't join that madness. Like they thought they were gonna reach some new place under the waves.
Hmm.
But
And what told you that this was an untruth?
I've met other of those. I've read about them, recent accounts. They are still there.
Excellent. So he may not, in fact, not actually be a last, but maybe something else, and is hiding that or feels guilty. Okay. I dig that. Um. Uh. So I'm gonna. So we see you on the floor of this factory that supposedly you entered before in the past or an alternate reality you're uncertain of. Egther has remained outside. You have dispatched these after image things, and when they died, I put that in quotation marks, they vanished. So the only evidence seems to be just the photos that are laying around. And there is, as you kind of moved your way further in, you've seen that there is a freight elevator that goes downward in deeper into this facility. Um, so Amanda, what do we see you doing at this moment?
Freight elevator going down. I mean, that's the way. Maybe Amanda doesn't take charge again because there are other people who can take charge now, and I think Amanda will go and look at some of the pictures just to figure out maybe what was being depicted here. You said they were very diverse, but I think Amanda's looking for a common thread, maybe something like that, or
Okay.
maybe something that
Does it
would,
feel like you want to be grasping at a key
yeah,
here looking through this?
yeah,
Okay.
yep, yep.
Um, are you generating any darkness tokens before we?
I have put some in because I acted with cowardice last time, I
Okay.
think.
So how
So,
many do you want to spend on that?
I'm spending two because I need to find the dice roller. No, that's not why I'm spending two, but do we have a dice roller?
Yes, if you look on the basic moves tab,
Oh,
uh,
it's there. Okay, I was
yeah,
looking in
I've
the
hidden it
safety
away
tab.
under the
I look at
blank. Yeah, no,
I
I
looked in
know. I didn't
this.
didn't see a good place
Okay,
to put it there.
okay, cool. So then I need 2d6s, and I'm rolling it. And let's see. Oh, it's a 10. So
10.
yeah,
So that falls right into the sweet spot there
yeah,
of things.
cool.
Um, I think you will see that you'd expect if this was a closed down photo processing facility, like you would see the whatever was left over would be, probably early 2000s style images and things. But as you're kind of looking at these things, holding them up to the light, it's a weird cross section of the last maybe 30 years before that. Like these are clearly images that are from all across different times there.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
uh, but I think one of the things that you will find here uh, is someone has put a set of these pictures off in another area
Okay.
on a table, and they are blank.
Huh.
And they are blank in that way that you've seen Wendell use
Mm,
his powers before
ew.
to drain information and secrets and things like that.
Okay.
And it looks to you like Wendell did this.
Um, okay. So we've been told that we were here before, right?
Yes.
So I'm turning to Wendell and saying, excuse me, Mr. Wendell, um, I think some version of you did this. Can
Uh,
you can you
can I
maybe
verify that somehow?
No, I think you know exactly what the use of your powers looks like. Um, and I think you will have this uncanny moment when you go over to those photos, to those images, and look down, and yeah, you have no memory of doing this, and yet those 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 pictures are completely blank.
I think upon realizing that is very much my doing and not remembering what I took, there's this powerful feeling of disgust that fills me.
Yeah, as well, you like secrets, you like information, and this is like a secret that you're keeping from yourself. Like you don't know what was on there, and now they're gone.
For a moment, I consider whether I can eat myself.
Whether you can consume your own powers and secrets.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to put that in. We'll put
probably
that.
not very filling.
I'm going to put that in the keys. So evidence of Wendell using their powers. And so, Wendell, what do you do? You kind of found this. Amanda has discovered this cache. What do we see you doing? There is the elevator down further on.
So this might be a reach, but
Sure.
considering that I chose these particular pictures to absorb last time, can I extrapolate what is not in those other pictures? Like a general theme?
Oh, interesting.
Like if there's a if it's a particular medium they use, if it's the subjects, if it's
Uh, let's, I think that's power through darkness. Like, I think you're using your abilities to kind of, and your senses and your occult knowledge to maybe draw uh, uh, a sense of things.
mm, um, I don't have any darkness tokens still.
Is
They're
anything, did this seeing of this weirdness of the uncanny, did that generate any tokens for you?
I mean, I do feel a yearning for the thing I'm
Yeah,
supposed to have, but do
absolutely.
not.
Yeah, how many tokens do you think that generated for you?
I think that is a pretty unique experience of that instantation, so I'll take 3 for that.
Sounds good. And how many do you want to spend on this power through here?
I'm gonna spend 2.
Okay, let's go ahead and have you roll.
So that's a 13.
That is a 13.
Ooh.
I do think you reach into yourself a little as you were just thinking to try and find something. Uh, let's have you mark a condition.
hmm So I choose one of these 3 there.
Yeah. What do you
Um,
think that that is?
I want those memories back, whatever I took. So I'm gonna
Mm,
mark lustful.
okay. So one of the things is and you all have been at this, all four of you, kind of looking at the pictures and things like that. What you would expect to see is in at least some of these pictures and snapshots and things like that, you would expect them to be of significant places like Mount Rushmore or the Washington Monument or the Louvre or London Bridge, like places of historical significance. Um, but you haven't seen any of those, and there's something that tells you that maybe these pictures aren't necessarily of our reality, and maybe they were of significant places changed or in another reality that you uh, uh, went to absorb, to bring into yourself, to grab that significance and that glimpse into another world. Does that seem like a fair answer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
So question about how the resolving mystery part works in this game. I already have kind of a theory brewing, so I'm wondering if this is the time to talk about that out loud or
Yeah.
if I'm
So you're welcome to speculate. That builds context. Like what you've just found kind of builds context for when we do that. It's not a key, but it builds some context when we're going to put the keys together. So you like anything like that that you might say, or those particular pieces of context you can certainly put in the notes on the mystery tab and tell Amanda what you're thinking. Kind of speculate out loud.
I
mm,
have a question though.
Yes,
Are there any facets to this mystery? Because I
yes.
remember that
The
there
facets are the Harbinger, the Door of
Oh, okay.
Power, and
Okay.
Weeper.
Oh,
Essentially, what
okay.
happened to the other
Okay.
agent.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cinna, the way that Apocalypse Keys kind of differs, it's when we kind of go through the keys at the end, we actually associate them with a particular facet. Like, what is this? What is this connected to? And we kind of try to build up a big picture using that to kind of organize the information.
mm.
It's the same system used in Numberless Secrets. A supplement for Hearts of Woolen now available. Get my plug in there.
Yes. Where is it available again?
It is available on itch.io and DriveThru RPG. You can get it
Oh,
print on
okay.
demand.
Nice.
So Cinna, what is your Wendell speculation here? What do you say
Uh,
to Amanda?
I'm like holding all these pictures in my like I have gloved hands, so I'm not directly touching them. And I'm holding all these pictures in my hands like a big hand of cards. They are all very boring pictures. You see, none of them. They're all just taken at cafes or just roadside diners and things.
That, that's boring. Okay.
Yeah, you take a picture at an important place, like I was here,
Yeah, but
and none of these have it.
but maybe
They're vacation pictures. They're all
yeah,
boring.
maybe they were important to the people taking them because maybe not everybody has memories quite as intact as yours, and they use these pictures to kind of sort of jumpstart or remind them of who they are, even if they're boring to you. And I mean,
Mm,
look at this is a picture of a cat. This is not boring. This is cute, I guess.
It's a picture a child would take.
Okay. I'm feeling frustrated.
Yeah, I was going to say, how many tokens do you think that generates for you?
I have to generate at least two, right?
At least two.
Yeah, I'm going with two. I'm not that frustrated. I'm a little
Okay.
frustrated.
All right.
Okay, I guess that's well, yeah, you're probably you have more memories than most, don't you?
Um, yes, but they're scattered. They tend to fall out.
Oh yeah, I know that feeling.
Anyway, regardless if they're boring or not, these pictures don't fit together. Like, look at these two. Look at these two.
Okay.
They're from the same diner,
Mm-hmm.
but they are
Okay.
wildly different structures on the actual diner.
So they're from different realities.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I think whatever's in this place is somehow accessing these different places. Maybe it's a teleportation system of sorts. If you can just visualize the place, you can go there.
Maybe they're all from the same person, just or different
Hmm.
versions of the same person, you know?
Interesting.
Is that a possibility? I mean, I don't know anything, but
Do we know anything about this Weeper person?
I've seen a picture, I think, somewhere in my brain. Yes, I've seen a picture in my brain. I don't know if it's real. It does he usually have blue skin?
Well, you have a picture of Weeper in the NPCs
Yes, of
tab.
course I have.
Yes. Yes, as well as Chambers, just so I can get the most tech
Mhm.
broy
Yep.
picture I could find.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
um, so I think that you two will the team will look at the elevator, having kind of gone through this first floor for a while and realize that you need to head on. I think we'll see you maybe moving towards that elevator, and that's where we're going to stop, I think.
Yeah.
We'll tag this on to the next episode, but
Mhm.
I am going to stop here. And we're back. So this is our technically our third session. I'm tagging on the little bit that we played last time to the start of this. We had to kind of break a little early, but we got one clue kind of in the context of that. So we have our characters here at our mystery site. They have interacted with their contact on the ground, Egther, who's out there. Uh, we had a little bit of sort of background on that, where Wendell gave us some perspective on Egther saying that they're the last of their people, but Wendell has met others of Egther's people. So there's some weirdness there. We know that there was an object of power that was taken by people working for a guy named Chambers, who's a big-time tech bro. The agency has interacted with Chambers before. In fact, we had a little background on Amanda having dealt with some of Chambers people in the past. Uh, right now, you're trying to figure out where this object of power is and why it's kind of threatening a harbinger. Those are the first two facets of our mystery. And the third one is the agent that was on the scene named Weeper. What's their status? Where are they in all of this? We have two clues on the table, two keys. The after images of an apocalypse generated by the photos. And also, last time, Wendell found a set of photos on that first floor that they had clearly drained the information out of and taken that out, but had no memory of that. So those are the two keys that we have here presently. So let's go around. And for this session, you will choose your impulse. There are a set of questions for your playbook that are the ones that potentially you wish to explore in the course of the session. If you do address or answer that question at the start, you can mark XP or a ruin, your choice. So let's start. Samuel, which of the questions do you want to mark for today?
If I may, before I do that, there's another
Sure.
question that I should have answered during character creation.
Okay.
And that is because I used the contractor as my division move.
Mm-hmm.
And I should have answered at least one question, and I will. And that is who is the person in charge of deploying the contractors? And I
Okay.
choose Mr. Wolf. And Mr. Wolf is the like personification of like the Grimm's Tales big bad wolf
Okay.
and all characters like that. And he is the curmudgeonly like master of arms, so to speak, or like the dispatcher for these
Okay.
specialists. So and now to my question. Let me just quickly see, because of course I did not spend a minute thinking about that.
Of course.
So what do I have? My impulses are, did you fight against the prophecy that haunts you? Did you learn something significant about your prophecy? Did you entangle another monster with your prophecy? Did you try to hold on to your humanity to great consequence, or did you give into the power of prophecy and strengthen it? I think at the stage that I'm at, the most relevant thing for me is to fight against the prophecy that haunts me. No, actually, did you learn something significant about your prophecy? Like to learn about it first.
Okay. I think that seems perfectly good. Amanda, which of your questions do you want to like work through today?
I actually marked these the last time after a stunted session. I think I already hit one of those.
Okay.
So I marked, did you let go of one of your memories and replace it with a new one? And did you open your mind and heart to another monster? I think I opened up to not Senna, sorry. It's Wendell last
Wendell,
time.
yes.
So yeah.
If folks could make sure to change your name in the display, otherwise I will get your name wrong at some point today. Okay, yeah, that seems fair.
Okay. I mean, I
Absolutely.
might do it as well this time, but
Sure.
yeah.
And Wendell, which question do you want to explore?
I'm just going to take the first one.
Okay.
Did you surrender to the hunger within you at the worst possible moment?
That nothing bad can come of having that question on the table. I think that's perfectly
Clearly.
fair. Yeah. So we wanted to roll back for Samael. There was the grasping of the key and the failure there. And you marked ruin at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And we wanted to have you kind of talk about what that meant at that moment, because you did that in order to grasp that key, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I think as Samuel kneels down to take into his hand these film snippets, a voice sounds from within the shadows, and it only says one word: lover, all caps and exclamation mark, just like going through his bones, and he recognizes that as Lilith's voice, and it's a voice he hasn't heard in eons.
And I think for you, uh, there is that darkness that demands in you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and you felt that for a long time. Uh, but you will feel the complexion, the makeup, the flavor of that change when you hear that voice. That something, maybe it was buried, or maybe it's something completely new, but definitely that voice will come through there. Does that seem fair?
Absolutely.
And then you spent some bonds
Mm-hmm.
last time. Which one do you want to kind of have us flashback to kind of narrate what the importance or the weight or the feel of that was?
Um, I think since Akamian is not with us anymore, I think that kind of um, just disappeared because that was who I had my bond with.
Right.
um, and then there's been one with darkness, but I can't really make sense of what that means yet. To spend a bond with what the darkness um, expects of me, but maybe it was because I used it to protect my teammates,
Hmm.
um, and maybe what it did was that as I spent the bond with the darkness, um, like chaotic flute melody went through the hall to the air and accompanied my binding the shadows and ordering the shadows together. Um, and that kind of hints at the thing at the center of the universe.
Do you think that the darkness approves of you helping your fellow agents, disapproves, or has no no comment on that?
I think if the Most High cared about what I'm doing on Earth, it would certainly disapprove.
Okay.
But I'm fairly sure that it doesn't care really.
I think that seems right and fair. And uh, again, we have two keys. This is a difficulty two mystery since it's an introductory mystery. Um, so at any point past this, of course, we can go to the facet fixing, but usually you want to get a few more in hand before you do that. And again, our facets are the Harbinger, the Door of Power, and Agent Status of Agent Weeper. One of the things we did last time, we did those establishing questions. We had Wendell comment on Egther. We had Amanda comment on Chambers and his organization. So, Samuel, I want to put an establishing question here to you before we kind of move forward again.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you have heard of Agent Weeper within Division. They're an agent. You haven't worked with them, but what rumors have you heard about Agent Weeper? They are the ones who kind of were planted inside Chambers' organization.
I
And we do have a
have.
picture of them in the NPC tab if you
Oh, we
wish
do.
to,
Okay,
to take
then
a look
yes,
there.
that is a good idea. I'm sure that will spark some inspiration. Oh, they look a lot like Amanda. Um, like with the like glowing things on their face. Um,
Lots of people have glowing things on their
that
faces.
is true. That is true. Uh, I think I heard the rumor about them that they oh, that's a good question. Does anybody have a pitch? They're a frost giant, right? No, that was
That
Ecther.
was Egther.
Maybe about the meaning of the glowing things on their
Yeah,
face, since we're
yeah, yeah.
there.
I think I heard the rumor that they are in fact um a living um a living weapon. But that is not the story that they are telling about themselves about their origin, and also not the story that we find in the archives.
Okay.
But
Excellent.
but they were created by a harbinger.
Excellent. I want to check. Does anyone have any start of session moves? I don't know. I can't remember if anybody has any of those. There are a few hidden away. Uh, so we left off with the group having explored that sort of first level with the materials, the negatives, the slides, the photos on the floor of this, making your way to this freight elevator, which goes down, which has the look of a part of the facility that has been used more, a little more cleared away, and so on. And so we will see the three of you descending down into this place. It's it is a longer elevator ride down than he would have expected just to kind of go down to the basement. And there's no other floors that you stop at. It's one of those open frame kind of freight elevators. And eventually it will stop, and you will see ahead of you what looks like a kind of common area. There are some vending machines. There are tables in here, almost like a lunchroom or a commissary. Uh, and you will see that there are a couple of doors off from here. Um, one of them is labeled barracks, and the other one is labeled lab slash admin. Uh, and you will see, almost like the Hiroshima shadows, there are sort of shapes that are burned into the walls, floors, tables. There are maybe a dozen of these, but they're kind of like more like swirls of darkened colors than they are just a straight shadow in here. Um, and there's definitely a smell of an oncoming storm that you will hear will kind of catch in your nose. Uh, Amanda, let's start with you. What do you want to do here?
I think Amanda first needs to reorient herself because this almost seems like something she remembers, but not quite, right?
Hmm.
So I think then she will maybe go over to those shadows on the wall and try to figure out if there are still thoughts in there.
Oh, interesting. I
She
think,
could read that
yeah.
something.
One of the things I think you will notice when you go over to them is they are not exactly burnt in.
Mm.
Like you will see, like the top edge has kind of come down, and you'll realize, you don't necessarily touch it immediately, but it almost looks like it's a thin film that has
Oh,
been applied to the wall.
interesting. And they, but it doesn't think, right?
Well, let's find out. That feels like
Okay.
you're grasping for a key here.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
I mean, do we have a dice roller or do I use my own dice that I have
You
lying
can use
around?
your own, and didn't I? Yeah, there's a link on the basic moves tab to our
Ah,
Roll Dice
okay.
with Friends.
Okay, yeah, okay. I always ask this question.
No, that's okay. I've managed to hide it in the most obscure way here. So,
No, it's not. That's actually where you need it, but I expect it in the safety test tab
oh yeah,
because
no.
that's where the links you can.
Uh,
Okay,
how many darkness tokens do you want to spend on this roll?
I want to spend 2 darkness tokens. I will just. I've got enough of those for now, but I spent 2. That should be okay. There's a 9. See, perfect.
Okay. So on a 9, you uncover a key. I think that you will get the thoughts, the last sort of thoughts of this person.
Hmm.
And clearly there's an alarm going off. Like they just get this fragmentary. There, there's something happening. They this whatever this alarm is, they haven't heard it before. Uh, there's a second where they're trying to process that, and they see, you're not sure if uh, uh, like they see someone else there because there is a box on one of the tables, and it looks like a sturdy, you're not sure if it's wooden or plastic or metal box, has a thick lid on it, and there is light coming out from under the lid. And did somebody lift the lid? Did the lid pop off? You're not sure, but there is this box of light,
Okay.
and that's the last thing they see is
Okay.
is that box.
It's not still around, right? The
Pardon?
box. Is the box still in the
You
place?
look and yeah, you don't see the box. I think you can see the table where it would have been on,
Mhm.
uh, and it's kind of center to the room there.
Okay. I will obviously share this information with everybody else.
And I think the thing that when you kind of come out of that, and again, what does it look like when you draw these thoughts out of this figure here?
Oh, I think I stand in front of the wall looking at it, maybe touching it even, and then you can see the glowy things. These are letters actually. The glowing letters on my face start to change, like you've seen in the Matrix when these green things ran across the screen. It's almost like that's running across her face. Or body, you
Excellent.
can probably not see the rest of that, but yeah.
And as you come back kind of into the to reality, all of you will hear this, the alarm that you heard in their thoughts has apparently started up again. And it's
Oh.
one of those kind of whining alarms that goes up a pitch very quickly and then comes down a pitch, like the most super irritating car alarm going on, and kind of gets in your head very quickly. A
What did
couple.
you do?
There was a box. I saw it, but I didn't open. It's not here anymore. And before these people became these things, that's what they heard.
Well, there's no box here now.
No,
Should be fine.
who knows?
Wendell, we've got a couple of doors out of this room. We've got these figures. What do you want to do?
I want to go look for wherever you would shut off that noise from. Whatever would
Absolutely.
make sense.
Yeah, I think you'll peek through into this doorway that goes to the admin lab, and I think almost immediately you'll see that there is a glass window and what seems to be the security station there. And it looks like if there's an alarm, that would probably be the place to turn it off from.
Hmm.
Do you
Can I
proceed?
first determine what caused the alarm?
It did definitely start when Amanda reached into the thoughts of this person on the wall. And that some kind of synchronicity, sometimes some kind of connection there seems to be what has triggered it. Um, it's almost like it's an echo of the past, an after image of the past, but a sound that is echoing. It's not quite right.
So if I use the controls to turn it off, does it?
So kind of step into the security office. There's nobody there. You'll look, a lot of the banks are down. You will find the like alarm shut off, and you'll hit that, and it doesn't stop right away. There's about a 5 or 6 second beat before it dims and trails away. Rather than just shutting off, it's like something winds down and the alarm stops.
Hmm. Are there
Uh,
cameras in this place?
you will see that most of the cameras are down. You will see that there's a camera facing out into the hallway that you kind of walked from that common room into here. And you can see that there's a figure at the far end of the hallway that's coming this way. Or maybe it's multiple figures. It's hard to tell. Uh, you're uncertain.
I've considered myself that this is uh, fire control free for this mission at this point. I'm
Okay.
gonna rush in there. I'm gonna get myself a snack.
Okay, you will step out of the hall and you will see this figure that is kind of walking towards you. It is a a woman. The colors on her are kind of running, like someone has put a filter or a gradient over her. But you can also see that there are other versions of her that are trailing behind her, like a again another set of after images. Uh, so you are moving hostily towards her, is my what I'm reading.
Uh, on figuring out that it's basically just multiple splices of a single person, I'm gonna try to keep my distance, uh, and like keep the same distance and back away as she continues approaching. What did
Okay.
they do to you?
And she begins talking, but the problem is that as she begins talking, the after images begin talking, and so you suddenly get this crowd of noises there. Let me check in with Samael. Uh, you've seen Amanda checking out these figures, these after images on the wall. Wendell moves through the doorway into this other room, and then the alarm kind of turns off. And then you probably see Wendell backing up into the common room,
Mhm.
and there is a distant figure coming down the hallway.
Mhm. I think I need to learn to let go and to trust a bit.
Okay.
So I will um, go into the hallway and try to find an angle where I can like kind of flank the figure in case it goes sideways, but otherwise let Wendell do what he is going to do. Um, and I'm gonna see how that plays out. You mentioned that there were other doors.
There's one other door in this common
Mhm.
room that seems to head off to looks like the barracks/living area for the
Mhm.
facility.
Yeah, I think we shouldn't split up just yet.
Oh, you got me
Yeah.
all excited there for a second.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how Wendell's
Okay.
scene plays out.
So you'll kind of move yourself as Wendell comes into the room,
Mhm.
backing up, getting some space for yourself. This figure kind of moving unsteadily, kind of will come into the room with this trail. The weird thing is that when it touches the door to kind of push the door open, it's like the door itself starts to flicker in that after image way because each one of these after images has to push the door open separately. And so the door begins to vibrate and flicker as well. And you'll step yourself back, Samael, in position. And you also have the sense that it's having a hard time seeing because it's also getting all the visual stimuli from itself and all of the after images as well. But it will concentrate and it talks slowly to try and make itself understood. And it will say, I am Dr. Marescu. What are you doing here? Kind of looking at you, Wendell, because you're the one that most directly addressed it at first.
Something went wrong here and with you. What did they do to you?
We we had, I think we had, I think, and again, one of the things is that the vocal tone and even some of the wording of the after images is different. So it takes a bit to parse it out, which is, I think, we think there was an accident. There was someone touched something that they should, I wasn't in the room. We have protections in place. Are you the rescue team?
Sorry, darling, not quite.
There's a sort of a staggered silence there from Dr. Marescu, who will kind of look around. Again, one of the things is that you have the sense that Marescu can't exactly see, can maybe make out the shapes, but can't make out the precise details for you. of what you actually look like. Amanda?
Yeah, I when I hear all the voices talking, I will come up and say to Wanda, I think the box was opened. Um, Miss Miss, probably both. What was that box?
We obtained it. Mr. Chambers obtained it, brought it here. It apparently was important from another place, but much more significant than the other altered world pieces that we have. It's active.
So these idiots accidentally turned it on.
We have, if we say idiots, and it takes a second, we have procedures in place. No one should have interacted with it yet.
I'm going
somebody did, or the box did it. So sorry, someone cut across. You were talking. Sorry.
I'm going to radio Mr. Wolf.
All right.
And
we'll call Mr. Wolf. It takes Mr. Wolf a second, but Mr. Wolf will pick up. Samuel, where are you guys? You've been gone for a couple of days.
Have we? Feels like we've only been here for a few minutes, hours at best.
That happens. Time dilation and all that.
Yeah.
Are you near the event horizon of something?
Yes, we are. And I think we need some assistance. We need somebody who is experienced with time and possibly dimensional contraction, distraction, dilution, and interpretation, because we have after images here that seem to really strain to communicate with us, and I think maybe an expert would make that much easier and also give us intel.
All right. Hang on. Let me pull up my personal desk assistant here.
Before we go any further,
yes,
just quickly how that move works.
Yeah, one of the others needs to make that choice. Yeah.
Okay, you already. Okay.
Oh yeah. I'm looking at right now.
Okay, cool.
So, who do you want to have answer that question?
I think Sabine.
Sabine, if you look on Samuel's tab on that first column at 62.
Yeah. Okay, got it.
You get to choose what kind of subcontractor that can be dispatched here.
Oh.
For the
I would think it would be remote, right? Because we're in a weird subdimension, and somebody else they send here, they might get lost and get stuck in the same situation, or get into another dimension, open a box. So maybe remote might be the best option.
So we'll say, I'm going to patch you through to Abhilasha.
That's much appreciated, Mr. Wolf. Can we just have her stand by in case we need her?
Absolutely. Maybe you want to give them just a basic background so they know what they're dealing with. Let me patch you through, though.
Sure.
This is Abhilasha. Can you describe the nature of your temporal emergency?
Yes, thanks for answering. We have after images of a Dr. Moresco, in case you have access to some database that might help here. And she seems to be temporally distressed or even dimensionally phased, and we just require general expertise. In case we run into questions, would you be available just to be on standby so we can ask questions if we need you?
Absolutely. I will stand by at your discretion. I will put myself on hold.
Great. I will keep my radio on record so you can just listen in on what's happening.
I
Does that sound good?
appreciate that. Thank you very much. By the way, this call may be monitored for purposes of something.
I would not have expected anything else. Procedures are procedures. Am I right?
Absolutely. So you will get Abhilasha on the phone there. So what do folks want to do? The doctor here is like moving very slowly around. You will see like when they touch an object, there is this weird causing it to shift as well. You'll realize that the after images clearly behind the doctor, they degrade in quality. Like they're pretty sharp. They look different, like they're different versions.
Mm-hmm.
They look pretty sharp immediately behind, but as you go further back, they get more and more grainy, like someone has photocopied them over and over again.
When I describe that to Abhilasha, what do they think are we dealing with? Is that like different points in time of the same timeline, or is that like diverting timelines? Does it have to do with time at all?
If you're saying that the person looks different in each after image rather than simple temporal disruption, you are probably looking at either a dimensional distortion or a temporal and dimensional distortion, in which case things are very messed up.
Is there a way we could like follow a trail, a set of, let's say, guidelines and procedures you could assist us with that could lead us to the center of this particular maze? Are there maybe some particular movements that would become stronger or weaker the closer or farther away we are from the origin of this phenomenon that you could point us to?
It depends on whether there is a center point or whether these are people that are simply infected with this effect. But
just for a second, let us assume that they are infected. Do you reckon that could be, well, still infectious, and should we take any precautions?
Well, I can send you a simple app to check and see if you're already infected with it.
That would be much appreciated.
And normally I wouldn't have you click on a link. Of course, our training says
Yes.
not to do that, but in this case, I'm going to authorize that. And you will see this little division app pop up. And
so whatever you want to click.
You click, and I think it will show like you will check out positive for temporal dimensional infection.
Oh, I have bad news. Team, please run this app and confirm.
Let me do something first before I click on your app. Because I probably will infect myself with that. But I think what Dr. Moreau is going through, there has to be some power behind that, right? Something is powering these shifts and things. So I want to absorb this power.
Ooh, you want to absorb this power?
Yeah, I think I remember how that's done, how you would absorb an effect like that. I don't know where this memory comes from. It's certainly not mine, but you know.
So that feels like you are
It's probably powerful darkness, right?
Yeah, that does feel like that. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm not particularly frustrated or scared, but I still got two thingies. So I will use the 2 here, and then I'm rolling my dice, and let's see where that goes. Oh, it's a 6. That's not enough.
That is a 6.
Yeah, that is not great. There's something connected toward the dark. Oh, nice. Yeah, I think I could bond my way through that, but I think I'll take the miss. That
Okay.
sounds interesting.
So I think that he will feel the darkness say, you could use this to rip into the past, into where you came from, if you want to learn the truth. You could just tear this open. The fabric is so weak here. It's so weak.
I'm so tempted.
And then there's an explosion from the doctor, from Marescu,
Oops.
and you will see, much like those images that you saw upstairs that attacked you, all of those after images of her like explode in different directions. And you will see that there are a couple of dozen bad version images of her, and they are now moving separately, but they look at you, and like those ones above, they are hungry and kind of mindless. Samuel, what do you do when that happens?
I think we really need to contain the situation. I will again, like while I'm getting ready to fight these after images, radio Abalasha and just go. We have an outbreak of after images here. I think we need to contain the perimeter of the facility that we're in. I'm gonna ping you the location, and then I think I'm going to use what's it called? Use the power of
For
darkness.
clarification, when you say contain, do you mean extreme measures contained, or do you mean keeping it under control?
Since we're dealing with a possible contagion, let's be thorough.
All right, I will task an orbital laser.
Maybe not all that thorough.
Oh, so not extreme measures.
No.
Okay. So you're talking to her, getting her set. What do you do, Wendell? You've been kind of talking to this person, and then they explode out as Amanda kind of moved over. What did Wendell see you do before this happened, Amanda?
I was reaching out to her with my hand, and I mean, I think Wendell can feel when I start absorbing stuff, because that's pretty similar to what he does. So yeah, I'm just absorbing her, and that doesn't go too well, because obviously it's a little too much like what happened to me originally, I
All
think.
right, that seems perfect. So Wendell, what do you do?
Uh, I'm just gonna turn to Amanda, like, get everything you can. Like, drink deep, and I'm gonna try to like contain the ones that are like splintering off from her.
Okay, is that the gnawing edge of hunger?
Uh, uh,
Or do you just want to
yes,
use your
I am gonna.
dark powers to try and contain?
Yes. And I'm also gonna take some darkness tokens for uh, asking someone to give in to their hunger.
Oh, nice, nice.
Uh, and I think I'm gonna spend all 3 tokens I have on this move here.
Okay.
That's an 11.
That is an 11. So you're using the gnawing edge of hunger?
Yes.
Okay. So your hunger grows deeper, edged with endless teeth as your humanity slips away. Which one do you want?
Uh, I'm gonna go with the first one.
Okay.
What does the harbinger within me scream for?
Uh, it's it's feeling the after effects. It's feeling what the power of this, whatever this box is, and it's it's screaming for you to find the box and eat the box. Like it is telling you that like it can sense, it can smell, it can feel it, and it wants you to do that.
Yeah, I mean, eating the box sounds when you're really fucking hungry. It sounds like a decent solution.
Uh, I think maybe unconsciously we'll see you staggering towards ignoring these things and staggering towards that hallway. Like, could you know that it must be that way? There's a lab. You know, that must be the direction. Samuel, you see this. You see Amanda reach out to try and touch, and then there's this explosion of those things that attacked you before, and Wendell begins ignoring them and just kind of staggering with that look of hunger that you've seen before on Wendell's
Mm.
face.
I'll get it at the source. I'll get it at the source.
What do you do, Samuel?
Um, I obviously can't let Wendell eat the object. Um, uh, I think if that's okay with you, Sinner, I will just order you to stop. Um, and I'm just wondering how to do that, either with powers of darkness with the emotion amplification, but that's not something I really want. Um,
By the way, do I already clear that condition, or do I need to actually do the thing my hunger wants to clear the condition?
Uh, so if you eat that box, you will clear a condition.
Okay.
You do
mm,
need the bond, though. Yeah.
mm, no, I don't think I can really unleash the dark here because it's not, just not fitting. Maybe um, so okay, maybe let's just play first and then see to what move that leads. So
Sure.
I'm going Wendell, don't. I know it's very enticing. I know it is, but it will only hurt.
Just me. It'll just hurt me. It'll be fine.
Will we? Do you know that?
Uh, yet? No. And I'm just still walking.
And I'm like walking. Crucially, I'm walking like abreast of you, not in front of you, and I don't try to actively block you. But I'm going like, are you willing to put to put me, and more importantly, to put Amanda in danger? You don't know if you're going to explode. You don't know if you're going to go berserk. You don't know what it will do to you, to your hunger.
What else are we going to do to contain this?
Close it for one.
They can just open it again.
Then we need to find something more stable to close it. Maybe we can bring it out to Ector. And he
Maybe I have
can.
maybe I have a book on this.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, maybe you
Let's
do.
let me see here. Let me check on one thing. Before I move to that book move, Samuel, does this feel like you're trying to reveal your heart? Are
I
we
think it does. Yeah.
okay? Let's
Mm.
do that move, and then we're going to come to Amanda. Does that
Hmm.
seem reasonable? Let's start with that.
Yes, absolutely.
How much do you want to spend?
I don't know. I don't think I have anything to
Yeah.
spend.
And
And
you have one right now.
yeah,
And
but it
do you
doesn't
think
feel.
that you generate any tokens before that
No, I
happens?
don't. I don't think I'm being aggressive and violent.
Yeah.
And also, I don't think that I'm tapping into the darkness here. I don't
Hmm.
think I will spend anything. I
Okay.
just do a flat roll, which is a 6.
That is a 6.
Do I have bonds that I can spend?
You've got
Just
one bond, which is not going to be enough.
okay. Well, then we'll have to deal with that.
So I think as you step forward, you're trying to connect with Wendell, and those images are on you, and they drag you down
Mm-hmm.
to the ground. And mark a condition.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
And let me just see what conditions I have. And then being downed and then drowned under the shadows, I just go, Wendell, don't.
uh,
And the condition is I'm torn between raging and despairing. Both are very juicy choices. Um, and I think I'm taking despairing because I want to believe in Wendell and his better nature and not fly into a rage and like punish him for his disobedience. I'm despairing, hoping that he will think better of it.
yeah. And I think that uh, you're going to mark a ruin as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
And I think that the darkness is is whispering to you that you can't connect with these people. You
Mm,
can't love them. They can't love you. Not like the darkness says, not like I can.
I know.
Uh Amanda, you want to use that book move? You're muted.
I need to distract myself from what the darkness wanted, because I will react with cowardice to that offer and rather consult my book, right?
Okay.
That's always a good move. Um, First of all, it will get me tokens, and second of all, it will get me my book. And I have taken a book. This is my division move, Forbidden Archives, and I should answer at least one of the following questions about the head librarian. What creature lies waiting in the restricted and forbidden archives? Which book have you read against division strict orders? I think I will answer the one about the creature that
Mhm.
lurks, and I think the creature that lurks between the archives is it's well, it's a librarian, but it's kind of an idea, more like it's like the idea of a librarian. It's not this archives librarian. It's just the idea of a librarian that has become stuck there. And now it's lurking around and waiting for people to come up so it can tell them about the books they should read. And it will become rather aggressive if you say that you don't have no interest or something. You can converse with it. Leaving is a bit of the issue because it really wants you to read the books that it
Absolutely.
recommends.
Uh, what does this book look like when you
The,
pull it out? Is it a
the
little
book,
book? Is it a big book? What is it?
I think it is a narrow book. There's not a lot of not a lot of pages,
Hmm.
but they are very thin.
Okay.
So it's kind of mostly you have these book title plates, the book plates, and then there are these very thin pages inside of it, and they're not written in a script that that the head librarian so far has been able to decipher, but something within me knows how to read that book.
Excellent. So let's have you. How many tokens do you want to spend?
I want to spend, let me look at how much. This is my character sheet. I'm sorry. I have just generated 2 and I will spend them. What could go wrong? Nice, be nice. Wow, it's a 7. But that will let me use a bond because, and I will do that. And I think I will use the bond with Wendell.
Okay.
Sorry. And because Wendell was the one asking, what else can we do except eat it? So that prompted me to open the book. So I think that makes
So
sense.
you get to pick 2 from that list.
Cool. Okay. Ooh. Ooh. I could just let it consume the box. Let me just look. Does anybody have a condition they don't like? Oh yeah, I think I'll the what I want to. The book opens to a page and reveals a welcome truth. Choose any PC, including yourself. They clear one condition. So I think the welcome truth here would be something like you can't eat everything. Sometimes it will eat you, and maybe you don't want to be eaten yourself. If you want that, you can now clear your condition of lustful.
Ooh.
If that's okay with you.
That work
Yep.
for you, Wendell? And what is your second choice, Amanda?
I think I would say I name a target like the box. So I will tell you before doing this, I will tell you the book can consume the box and we have it in the book and then we can take it somewhere where we can analyze it and it'll be a little safer and we won't get lost in time things.
I think that you will do that.
Mhm.
And you will see that box, like a picture, the box that you saw in that vision, that sort of uh, gets drawn in on the page there, and yeah, like the book is certainly vibrating with that power. Though these after images are still here,
Oh,
uh,
I
uh,
forgot about them
uh,
again.
and still pressing in on you. Let's take our first break here. Let's take 10. We'll come back and check in with Wendell and see what that clearing of the condition feels like and where we're at, certainly with Samuel being pulled to the ground. So take 10 and we'll be back. Recording. So, Wendell, what is it that you feel when that condition gets alleviated? Um, does that bring you to a stop? Does it change your reaction? What do you think happens there?
I think Wendell is a creature that is very easy to sway, is very swingy.
Mm-hmm.
He can go very hard in on something and then switch entirely. And I think it's just that perfect little switch clicking by what Amanda said that I could get eaten in turn. I had not even considered that, and it just goes right.
Absolutely. And what do you do? Samuel is kind of on the ground being swarmed by these creatures. There's still some more of them around.
That is safe to eat. I'm gonna eat.
Okay. Um, uh, so do you want to do that with your hunger move, or do you want to do that with Unleash the Dark?
I think having realized that I came that close to doing something very stupid, I'm going to go for just Unleash the Dark.
Okay. So how many tokens do you want to spend, and have you
Um,
generated any more?
I don't think I have any, no.
Okay. Uh, so
Ooh, great. A 3.
a 3. So I think that you turn to unleash your powers there. Uh, and even as you do that, that is when the other half of these images slam into you and drag you to the ground. Um, and let's have you mark one ruin.
Love me some Ruin.
Uh, and I think that the darkness goes, this is what you get for not listening to your original impulses. And these things are they are feeding on you like they are like you can feel them draining off color and information from you. That's kind of their hunger that they are trying to more fully draw themselves in and manifest themselves in this world. Um, so Samuel, you and Wendell are both kind of uh, uh, under these piles of these after images that are draining you. What do you do?
I would like to unleash my powers, please.
Sure,
In that I am stripping the after images of their contours by manipulating shadows.
absolutely. So unleash the dark.
And this
Okay,
time with darkness tokens.
sure. How many do
Which
you want to
is,
spend from that 3 that you just generated?
I think 2, just to be safe.
Okay,
Nope, that's a 6.
that is
Um,
a 6.
do I want to spend my last bond with Wendell? I think I actually do because it's about saving Wendell here.
So that'll
Um,
only get you to a 7.
but that is a success, right?
Oh no.
It's
No.
No.
8
8 to
to 8 to
10.
10.
Ah, well then scratch that.
Okay.
Um,
Um, I am going to tick a box on the doomsday clock,
mhm.
which is a thing that happens in this game. And I will have you mark another condition.
And I think now I'm going to go for raging.
Yeah.
Like this is like these are like they're not even proper monsters. They're
Hmm.
just like shadows of humans. It is a absolute pertinent um, insult for them to be that challenging to both of us.
Absolutely. Uh, so you start raging. Amanda, you see your two teammates are both buried under these after
Oh,
images,
oopsie.
and don't look like they're doing well.
I forgot about that. Oops. I think I'm scared now because I tried to take their power and that was kind of not didn't work so well last time. But I mean, I think I'd have to try that again, right? I'm taking more darkness tokens. I'm really scared.
Okay.
No, because of what happened last time. But I will. I have to save these people, right?
Yeah.
So, here, your after images, come to mommy.
Uh,
Why did I say
Breathe
that?
deep.
is a weird thing to say, but that's good. Uh, let's
I'm
unleash the
using
dark. How many tokens do you want to spend?
All of them. All of them. I need to save someone, these
Okay.
people. Yeah, I'm rolling. I'm rolling. I'm rolling. Come on. Wow, I rolled a 4. But so I got a 7 and I have a bond with Samuel
Okay.
that I can use here. And I will. So to get myself to an 8.
So which two do you want to pick from that?
Oh, Unleash the Dark, was it, right?
Yeah.
I think what I want is to I think I want to expose a weakness or a flaw that maybe the others can then use.
Okay.
And also I would like to, I guess, get what I want from them, which is to come to mommy, I
Okay.
guess.
So I think that like you do that power absorption and you kind of draw off, and again, they start to lose their resolution, and they will uh, move to come towards you. One of the things you'll realize is that even as they were grabbing and tugging on Wendell and Dominic, they were trying to be very careful not to touch one another. Like that's clearly a problem for them, and that that seems to like you'll maybe see one of them accidentally bump the other one, and they both pull back, clearly impained by that. Does that seem reasonable? Uh, but some of them do get to you. What condition do you want to mark?
Let me check my conditions. Which conditions do I have? Defensive.
Okay. So Samuel, you're still raging. Wendell, you're on the ground, but then these things come off, and you will see the mass of them, about a dozen of them, starting to swarm towards Amanda, and you'll see that weird behavior of them trying to not touch one another. What do you want to do?
Make them touch one another.
uh, with some of that power, I ate some of them earlier.
Yeah.
So I feel like I would have some of that saturation stored within me.
Okay.
I want to give them some saturation back and like coalesce them.
Okay. It feels uh again, do you think you're more attacking them or are you more setting them up for an attack kind of thing?
I think I'm more setting them up.
Okay, then let's do that as like a power of darkness, the power through darkness, to give an advantage to what Samuel will do or Amanda will do. Does that seem fair?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, when we see you, and again, this is hard because you've got to actually let go of some of the power that you've taken. You've got to give some of that up. How many darkness tokens do you want to spend? Do you generate any before we
No,
do the roll? Okay.
I find these very hard to actually do. Mm, a 6.
A 6. Do you want to spend bonds to get that to an
Let me
8?
see what the uh, um yeah, I feel Samael is really the one most under pressure from this.
Mm-hmm.
Since he's still pinned down, I'm gonna spend my bonds with him.
And what is it like? What do we see like about your connection with Samuel? Either a flashback or what's in your mind that kind of pushes you when you use those bonds?
Uh, Seeing him like give in a little bit to that fury that he has
Mm-hmm.
inside him to like I still think whether it's true or not that he could just obliterate the both of us if he just wanted to. And him holding that still back gives me a bit of that edge like I, I gotta outperform him. I gotta be smarter about this.
Excellent. We see you do that. Samuel, you will see Wendell extend. You'll see a transmission of some kind of information or energy to these things. They are kind of caught, kind of pinned between Amanda and Wendell there. Um, I think given we've got a couple of advantages here, I just want you to tell me how you use your abilities to destroy them.
So what I'm doing is that I'm taking all of the shadows in the room, like not just the outlines of these images, but also the shadows in the corners, the shadows under our noses, and I take all of them and coalesce them into a like shadow singularity in the corner of the room that is about the size of a fist, and in a way offer that maybe if he wants to Wendell to eat, but otherwise I will just constrict it more and more and more, um, and yeah, just filled with angelic fury.
And is it that you is that tossed in the middle of them? Does it draw it to them? What do you think the effect is?
I think it just like draws all the shadow from the room into this little ball that turns singularity in the middle of the room. Um, and I'm just totally going overboard with violence here. And I think that triggers something for me.
Sure.
Yeah. It's a normal darkness trigger. Overreact with violence. On top of that, I also get the 3 darkness tokens for my playbook move,
Okay.
and I will also so that's 4 in total. Then brings me to 6, and I will spend 3 of them.
Okay. I Yeah, if you want to do the roll, then we'll have to do the roll here. Yeah. Let's do
Mhm.
that.
And I'm just wondering if that's just Unleash the Dark, or if it's even Power Through Darkness, because I'm really going for.
Yeah, I do think it's power through darkness because I think you've got such an advantage. It is less about like you really fighting them. You're really just using your abilities to do this.
And I'm really beyond like any sense of proportion here.
Absolutely.
So that's a 7 plus 3 is a 9.
9. So you will
It's a 10, but still.
you will drag them to it. At first, like it is wild and crazy, but the concentration, like it feels good to have this much control. It feels
Mhm.
good to be able to hone your anger to a razor edge and be able to do this. And they are all sort of sucked into this shadow, and that darkness kind of crackles and destroys them. Uh, and I think that you let just a little bit of energy out for Wendell.
Mhm. And
Um, how about you take a bond with Wendell? Does that seem fair?
sure. And I think what feels really good for a summer about that is um, to let loose for once and feel all that power that he has and always keeps deep down. And for like everybody who's maybe not a monster that would be in the room, you have this brain breaking moment of a room completely devoid of shadow.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
And at like super bright for a moment, and then the shadows, the natural shadows, kind of return to their place. And I think you will see where Dr. Marescu was. There is another one of those sort of outlines, flat film kind of outlines on the floor.
Mhm.
Uh, like all of the possibility gone, and there's just that left behind. Amanda, what do the others see when this
Uh,
all clears?
I think I'm still like this, trying to defend myself from the shadows, even though they're not exactly there. And when I see that they are gone, I will check on the book, still vibrating.
Yep.
And I will look at the other two and say, well, that went, right? So wow, that was a thing with your shadows, Samuel. Imagine that felt really good.
Yeah, Samuel's just like grinning at you like a madman.
Yeah, okay.
Meanwhile,
So
Wendell has like a big tear in his stomach
oh,
where he like where he
oh,
drew some of that power from.
oh, that is that normal for you?
It's not desirable, but it's there.
Like it will get better, right?
Once I eat something, yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, now there everything's gone, but I took some power from the shadows. I could give that to you. From the after images when they came to me. You want that?
You would?
Sure, sure. I think that's review your heart, right?
Yeah. Kind of step over how is it? I mean, do you just let go of the energy or you have to reach out to touch Wendell? What is that connection?
I'm not Amanda's not sure. I mean, she knows that she can do this, but she will look to Wendell and say, how do I do this?
Uh, I think Wendell will savor the opportunity to be able to touch someone. So he'll just reach out and like grab onto your shoulder.
Excellent. How many darkness tokens do you want to spend, Amanda?
So how many do I have? I have 0. But I think maybe I was at least asking someone to open
Yeah,
his emotions, right?
yeah.
So I think I generate 2 and I will spend them.
Okay.
Whee! Let's go. Come on. So it's a 7,
Oof.
so I need to spend a bond. I will spend a bond actually with the darkness.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that because when Wendell touches me, I am reminded of this thing that is inside of me, right? And inside of him. And I'm using that connection, our darkness, like we have both have it. There's a word for it, I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine, and I can't either. So yeah,
So
and
you get
that's
to pick one,
mhm.
and then if Wendell responds, they can pick one as well.
Let me check what I want here. I think I would like to gain a bond with Wendell. Yeah.
Excellent. How do you respond to that, Wendell?
Uh, I think after just getting the first glug, so to speak, of that power, I'm just gonna like lean in and almost like a light hug,
Mhm.
just get a bit closer.
Do you
Oh,
want
okay.
to gain a bond, clear condition, mark XP, or clear ruin?
I'm not entirely sure what ruin does, but it just feels fitting to remove that.
Okay. It's kind of the corruption, the fully giving into the darkness. So yeah, your heart will be a little bit lightened by this connection. And I think that as all of you are there, like the box is clearly in the book, but you'll still feel the thrumming weirdness of this place, and there's definitely a emotional gravatic pull towards that lab area. Samuel.
It's
Oh, Wendell.
it's it's this way. And then Wendell is like shaking a little bit.
Being still enraged,
Mm-hmm.
I think I will get quite close to Wendell and like look down on him and say, the only thing that avoided the catastrophe here today was Amanda and her quick thinking. I hope you are very proud of yourself. And then stomp off past you towards the lab.
Are you generating any darkness with that response?
I think I am, and I think that was also me revealing my heart, like that I can be very judgmental and in a very unfair way.
All right.
Like if I feel that Amanda is threatened, and I think I will also spend one of the darkness tokens.
Okay.
Oh, wait a second! I just created 3 automatically.
So, yeah.
And
So you were at
brings
4, I believe, then, and then you generated 2 from that.
so that brings me to 6, the 3.
Yeah. So you
And
can spend that. Essentially, we always check on that after we resolve a move.
and I think I would like to spend 2 so I don't reach the 5.
Okay. So you'll be back at 4, and let's have you roll that.
Yep. Okay, that's a 7.
That is a 7. So
And
go on.
yes, because I would really like to clear my one of my 2 conditions. So I will use one of my bonds with Wendell.
Okay.
And I think like I'm like towering over him, and he's like looks as Sinner just role played so nicely, looks kind of scared and afraid. I remember an earlier mission where we had a very similar situation where Amanda was in danger, and I really flipped my shit at Wendell, and then turned out that he was actually doing the right thing in the situation, and I just hastily jumped to a conclusion and really, really scared him. And that brings me back from the brink a little bit. And I'm saying before I storm off, like, I apologize. I shouldn't be so rash with you. And
Okay.
Yeah.
lifts us to the 8.
So you clear that condition. Wendell, what's your reaction to that?
Well, first, it was just outright fear of like, is he gonna turn on me now? I have no idea what this giant of a being will do. And then it just completely flips over to, yeah, you should apologize to me.
Nice. So again, you get to pick from that 8 to 10 list under Reveal Your Heart.
And I am picking that they soothe your heart, clear 1 condition. So this little like bit of a rebellion, so to speak, from Wendell, going like, yeah, you should apologize, takes me out of my enraged state, and I'm like, yeah, you're right, I should. I'm sorry. You do not deserve that.
And Wendell, what are you going to pick from that list?
Oh, I get to pick from a list?
Yes.
The Reveal Your Heart again?
Yeah,
or what?
the 8 to 10 on Reveal Your Heart.
I'm gonna grab a bond.
Okay. So let's come back to Amanda. You've had this moment with Wendell. You'll see this exchange between Wendell and Samuel in that hallway. What do we see you do?
I think we need to go to the lab, but I'm waiting. I think I'm waiting for the other 2 because I'm still defensive, and I don't want to be the first one in, because this I will ask the other 2, does it feel like my powers feel out of whack, really? Like it's really hard to keep control.
Oh.
Yes, it's it's like an uneven boat.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
I wonder if Weeper experienced the same thing when he was here. When they were here, are they or he? Weeper?
What if
We don't know.
Oh, now you put that in. We'll say he, him.
Okay, when he was here. So maybe that had something to do with what happened.
So who takes
What if
point?
I think
I
I'll
think
just go.
yeah, go ahead.
I think it's Samael, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm like right on your heels, like itching to get to whatever this thing is.
Yes, I'm not like in a murderous rage anymore, but I am fed up with this place and want to get to the bottom of it.
So
I follow more cautiously.
you will move along. You'll see there are a couple of, you know, looks like offices that are along here, but you will see that there is a lab, has that, green red light to indicate, whether you should go in or not. It's definitely on red. The door is open, and kind of look in there, Samuel, and it's a big lab, well appointed. A lot of things are smashed in here, but there are computers, there are spectroanalysis machines. Uh, it's a weird, it's like somebody spent a ton of money to just have every kind of scientific instrument, like willy-nilly, without care, just have everything in here. Um, and uh, you know, a lot of it looks like they haven't even peeled the plastic off the display screens and things. There's more images in here, and there's definitely a secure door in here that seems to go further in, and it is torn off its hinges, wrenched off.
Um, does it look like it got wrenched off like indiscriminatory by like a blast, or was it torn off its hinges by something with agency?
It definitely looks like something physical
Mm-hmm.
tore it off. Like you don't see any blast marks. You don't see anything like that. It's really hard to tell whether it was wrenched from this side or pushed
Mm-hmm.
from the other side, but it's the door itself is kind of bent, and there are probably some impressions of hands on both sides of it at this point.
I reckon that sort of pattern of violence doesn't match any of us, does it?
Could have been Samael.
Um, Abalasha, you see that photo? Does that ring a
Yes,
bell?
it is hard to say. That doesn't seem like a temporal distortion. That seems fairly in the physical world. Um, my
True.
recommendation is you check around the lab and see if there's anything there.
True, true. Thank you.
I wanna like walk among all the lab equipment and kind of just like absorb whatever data they have in these kind of brand spanking new machines.
Interesting.
Amazing.
Uh, so that feels like grasping for keys.
Yeah.
Okay. Let us have you make that roll.
And I'm definitely yearning for getting that box that I didn't get. So I'm gonna add 2 darkness tokens here. That's an 8.
That is an 8. I think the thing that will shock you as you're kind of reading through this is there are a lot of pieces and parts and scanned documents and copies of things in here that are clearly from division. Uh, and you will see pulled up on, recent files on one of these machines is then this is the key, is a dossier on how to kill you.
Me specifically?
Yes. It's like it is a file on you and the best means to neutralize you. It has the division stamps and all of that kind of thing. And it's a fairly elaborate, like Batman planning style thing to overload you in order to be able to neutralize you.
That is a pretty juicy secret that I'm gonna keep to myself. But
Okay.
what I'm gonna announce to the room as I like pull all this data from these machines, they they got into the division databases somehow. They've got stolen intel on here.
Do they have anything on Reaper? Maybe that's what happened here. Noel, remind me again of the connection Reaper had with these tech bro guys, please.
So Reaper is the agent from Division that was embedded in
Ah,
Chambers' organization,
oh,
and the one who gave the call in about the object being brought here, and then haven't heard from them since then.
yeah, maybe there was another version where Reaper didn't call it in, but did something different.
So I'm just following a hunch. I'm gonna quickly ask Abalasha, like take one, maybe a like Palm Pilot sized computer, like in my hand, make a photo, and go like, Abalasha, is that division tech from another dimension that you recognize? Like, did they steal our data, or is that a division lab that we're in?
Question.
That's definitely not Division equipment. And there's a long pause. That's much nicer than what we have.
Understood. Thank you.
But I can check the authentication and that is in fact files from our records.
Mm-hmm. Like our current records that we also would have at home.
Yes, essentially kind of pulls up. You pull up some documents, and Abalasha will do a quick, cross check, and she'll say that checks up as unaltered prime universe
The
material.
differences are within the standard deviation.
Yes, standard universe deviation.
I feel like we could pretty easily devote some of these keys to the facets at this point.
Yeah.
At least I have a
Yeah.
pretty firm idea.
Yeah, we could do that. You would be rolling at a +2 for the solution if we want to do that.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing.
Okay.
Actually.
So the way that we do this, we uh, unlock Doom's door is, and this is the way that I manage this usually, is we will go around, we'll look at a key, and we'll have each of you like pick a key and connect it to a facet and kind of say what you think the connection is. And we'll go around. We'll start with you, Wendell. So the three of you are kind of huddled up, talking about like what the possibility is here. What key do you want to assign to what facet?
So here's the problem with us being huddled up is that I somehow want to still keep that secret that they had that file on me specifically.
I put
Because
the key as division files. So,
But the thing is that I also want to assign that to the Harbinger because I think they want to use me as the Harbinger.
ooh, interesting.
Yes.
So how do you kind of get around that? What are you saying?
I think I'm going to say that I think they're going to try to use me as the Harbinger, but the justification I'm using is that I had already been in here and used my powers. They were like doing a trial run.
Okay. So do you want that as the evidence that you use the powers, or do you want that as the division files key that you're connecting there?
Oh, I forgot that was in there. Let's use the evidence of me using my powers.
Okay. Certainly, there's a lot of things about information and that kind of thing here that seems to echo maybe a lure, maybe that kind of thing, and you feel some resonance there. Um, Amanda, uh, what of the three remaining keys do you want to connect here?
I think, ooh, okay. When losing their powers, not Weeper. Okay. So I think I will connect maybe. Huh. There's so much. There's so much. Oh yeah, I think the box of light is the means they meant to bring about whatever they were trying to do, right? That's the door of power,
Okay.
the box of light. I have it currently in my book. Great. Woo. Yay.
Yeah, I think that is perfect. Like that's clearly the means, that's the object here that was brought, you know, it clearly interacts with information. It's like a moth to a flame, kind of thing. Um, Samael, uh, what do you want to connect of these remaining ones?
Mm, I think the after images of an apocalypse, like they are photos of an apocalypse that has already happened. So that leads to a question like where/when did that happen? And that leads to the box of light and the door of power that I think that those are um, basically photographs of wherever the box of light came from. That is the other side of a door of power.
Absolutely. Uh, perhaps, perhaps a universe, another world where Wendell was the harbinger and destroyed everything
Mm-hmm.
there. Um, uh, and does anyone have a good idea for where we want to put the division files? Wendell?
Uh, I'd put it on Agent Weeper and that he's a traitor.
Hey,
Or at least some version of him is.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, maybe it's not our Agent Weeper.
absolutely. Since you've seen
But
people get changed and moved across
mhm.
dimensions there. All right, so we're rolling with a +2 for the unlock Doom's door. Now, Wendell, you started us off on this road. So this is me making you make this roll. You will never have to make another solve mystery roll. This is your the one. We will switch the pressure later on.
We take an 8.
An 8. Uh,
Perfect.
so I think that like you know that you have locked down that door, uh, uh, but I think you'll realize that the danger is still operative here because Agent Weeper is infected by that. Like right now, he is the prime patient zero of this, and he has the possibility of pulling other kinds of things through. And we'll see you move on, and you will see past that door, there is a lab, and you will hear the sounds of Weeper. He is tearing the place apart because the box is gone. And that seems to be his focus. And he is uh, uh, desperately strong. He is ripping tables apart. He's pulling open doors. He is trying to find this. So, how do you want to deal with this? Do you want to engage him? Do you want to pull back and nuke it from orbit? With that 8 to 10, you have the opportunity. You have the jump on him.
What does Wendell Weeper look like?
So we have a picture of him in the NPCs tab there. First column 40. He is almost in what looks like a spacesuit that's kind of almost verdigris white green. And it matches his skin tone. And he looks sort of partially artificial there.
That
And
picture doesn't load for me.
oh, it doesn't load for you? Here, I will screen share it.
Oh, no, I
Oh, you
got
got
it
it?
with reloading.
Okay.
Okay.
Uh, uh, yeah, and he is tearing things apart. I like to imagine also the figure that you see there in H40 uh, is very clearly Chambers also in the room, writhing on the floor. Clearly,
Oh.
something has happened to make him into a stack of images.
Ooh,
And he's trying to pull himself together, but they keep sliding away from one another.
cool.
Feeling
Samuel. Well, Lindell?
feeling inspired by the way that Amanda brought me down earlier for wanting the box, I'm gonna try to do the same thing to him by just
Ooh, nice.
trying to calm him down, walk into the room, and just tell him that you do not want the box. It would consume you.
Interesting. Uh, so that definitely is Unleash the Dark. You're trying to enforce your will. Let's
Uh,
have you do
I don't
that. How
think I
much do you want to
have any
spend?
darkness tokens.
Do you generate anything from the solution or this moment before that?
Uh,
You're
no, I
you're
don't
asking to
think so.
someone to not give in to their hunger, so yeah.
I'm doing the opposite of me, so it would be fitting if I failed this disastrously. Yep.
So I think you turn around and you start to talk, start to say your piece, and there is a streak, and he is across the room, and he has put his fist through you. Marked condition, uh, and essentially it comes out the other side, partially because you're not entirely corporeal. You have but he's holding on to you, and he says, "Where's the box?" Samuel, what do you do when you see that happen?
I'm going to um, I'm going to go to him and order him to kneel. I'm unleashing the darkness and
Okay.
using my emotion manipulation powers and say, all that you want, all that you ever need is in me and the Most High. Kneel.
Interesting. Let's have you do that. So you
And
add
let me go. And let me go.
yes.
And
Add 3
Yep, at
darkness
3.
tokens, and then are you spending 3?
Yep.
Okay.
I guess that's worth it. And that's a 6 plus 3 is 9.
That is a 9. So like I think the air vibrates with the sound of that as your voice echoes out on
Oh,
him.
and the little detail, sorry, the little detail
Yeah.
as I let my voice ring is again these cosmic flutes fill the room and like the shadow just comes dropping out of my trench coat, and you think you see maybe a tentacle or two like slithering out like from the back.
Nice. What 2 things do you want to have happen there?
Would you believe me if I told you that I have not thought that far ahead?
That is
Um,
fair.
so get what you want
Get
from them.
2 picks.
Avoid reprisals, harm, or cost. Gain the upper hand for now. Expose a weakness or flaw. Confuse them for some time. I think I like what I want from them is that he lets Randall go, and I would also like to expose a weakness or flaw.
All right. So I think like he pushes Wendell off and is kind of turning and is clearly fighting against your words, and turning and looking at you, face on. You know, his knees kind of starting to bend, but he's not buckling.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, uh, but I think you can tell that he he is less calculating, like he is operating on instinct here. Uh, uh, he is almost like an animal wanting that box, that he's past sort of higher level conscious thought, which makes him weakens him a little bit, also makes him in some ways even more dangerous here. But you kind of got him pinned like that.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Amanda, you see Weeper throws Wendell off. Samuels used the voice on him. What do you do?
Let me check my triggers. What would I do? I think I will react with uncertainty, and how that looks like is I'm taking him with my telekinetic powers and I'm throwing him around a little, you know,
Absolutely.
just maybe like that, just to make him stop whatever he's doing.
Okay.
Because that
That still feels
he's a division agent. He shouldn't be doing this thing, and that causes a lot of
yeah.
uncertainty. And I'm using 3 of these uncertainty thingies that I have to throw him around with.
So
Oh, sorry,
yeah.
probably want to.
Unleash the dark. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm doing. Yes, I'm
Okay.
unleashing. Let me unleash here. Come on. Oh, wow. Okay. So I'm in 7 and I will spend the bond, obviously. Um, what bonds
Which
do I have?
bond are you spending?
I'm spending the bond with Samael because I remember we were training back then, and Samael was like, do not hold back against your enemies or something like that. So I'm not doing that. I'm not holding back.
Yes, do not hold back.
And what do you want to do here? What are the 2 picks that you want?
I think I want to get past their defenses and inflict a condition.
Okay.
Because we got to take this guy probably down, right? And I think this should confuse them for a bit, like when they get thrown around like that.
And I think it is that the confusion is the first part, like because this agent is so driven by base instincts, like suddenly when this happens, they're tossed around, and I think that sort of still gripped and weakened by what Samuel does. I imagine there is a moment when you do that, and they lose kind of their integrity, how they're holding themselves together, because they are not the Weeper from this world. They are from another world, and they are an echo of an omen. They are not the omen. And if it's okay with you, Sabine, I think that that book that you have will flicker open, and you will see them get dragged into the book and drawn onto a page. Is that okay?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm a bit confused about that. That was not what I meant to happen, but I will look at the others. That was not the original one.
And you'll feel things start to kind of settle out, that sort of rupture that was that harbinger and the door of power kind of contained. And I think you'll see Chambers trying to stand up, trying to bring himself to his feet, but it's like a 6 foot stack of papers.
I'm
And
gonna
what do you do, Wendell?
I'm gonna look at the others for like half a second of permission. Let me take him out of his misery. Let me get him.
I'm not stopping you.
I'm getting him. Mine.
And what does it look like when you consume him entirely?
So I still have this large hole in my body from where I was punched through by Weeper. I'm just gonna pull him into the hole head first and like grasping at these clumps of paper, just claw him in.
And he is drawn in, dragged. There's maybe, a kind of repeating after image scream, and then the last sheet kind of goes in. And
How are
I
you
think,
feeling now, Wendell?
oh, go on.
I feel full.
Does it feel good?
Oh,
I can feel it slipping, but it's good.
Hmm. Bask in it. You've earned it.
So I think we're going to cut to a couple of days later. I think we're back at Division HQ, and I think this is you sitting down with Assistant Director Hoffman, and Director Mittens is on the table. We're going to wrap here real soon, so I don't want to
Oh,
necessarily
okay.
take a break
Oh,
here.
good.
And uh, he's like, "Well, that sounds like you did a good job in uncertain circumstances. Uh, one of the things we're trying now is more of a self-assessment. So, in 3 words or less, how would you describe your performance? Wendell?"
Instinctive, directed, and effective.
Oh, good, strong words. Amanda, how would you describe your performance in 3 words or less?
memorable. Yeah, that's
Excellent. The concision is good. And Samuel?
Successful. No casualties.
Excellent. Well, that is very good. Uh, we have a situation brewing in Barcelona. we'll be dispatching you there soon, but you've got 24 hours downtime here before we send you off.
Understood.
And we'll take up with that sort of 24 hours
Mm-hmm.
before you go on your mission. We'll give you the mission briefing next time, but we'll give you a chance to talk to NPCs or talk to one another next time to start out, if that seems reasonable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let us check in with the end of session check here. So we will take a look here. Let's start with Samuel, our summoned.
Mm-hmm.
Did you learn something significant about your prophecy?
If we count the bit all the way at the beginning, that was technically part of the last session, then I would say yes, because I learned that Lilith is active again.
Excellent, excellent. I think that is a perfect XP mark here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or if you want to mark ruin, you're also welcome to mark ruin.
Yeah, I think I actually would like to mark ruin for that.
Okay, yeah, that does seem appropriate. And for Amanda, what was your question there?
Well, yeah, that's a good question. Where is it? Oh, the impulse thing.
Yes.
Did I open my mind or heart to another monster? Yes, last time I had a good talk with Randall.
Yeah.
So
you can mark XP for that.
yeah.
And
I don't mark it here. Sorry.
oh, that's okay. And Wendell's, and you can mark XP or you can mark ruin. It's up to you.
Did I surrender to the hunger within you at the worst possible moment?
No, you were trying.
Yeah, I tried going there, but they talked me down.
But I do think that you did. I mean, the trying to surrender, I think, is fair enough as well for XP there. So let's give you an XP for that.
Okay.
There are some end of session XP questions that I'm going to ask here as well to do that. So I'm going to come back again to Samuel. Did you express your monstrous nature and or express your humanity?
Yes, I think I did, particularly towards the end.
Yeah. So mark XP for that. Did you learn something significant about yourself and or your impending ruin?
I don't want to give myself XP twice for the same thing. So I'm going to say no.
Okay. Did you learn something significant about one of your fellow monsters?
I learned that Wendell's hunger can be reasoned with.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's fair. And I think you generate a key, so you can also, well, you don't generate anything, but you just don't mark ruin for that. Let's come to Amanda. Amanda, did you express your monstrous nature and or your humanity?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
So mark XP for that. Did you learn something significant about yourself and or your impending ruin?
Impending ruin. I think in a way that there were all these dimensions shifting because that's my origin and that might be my ruin. So I think, yeah, being exposed to that gave me some insight. And now
Okay.
I know I can talk to your contact that you had, Samuel, about the whole thing. So
did you learn something significant about one of your fellow monsters?
yeah. I learned a lot about Wendell, and I learned some about Samuel and his proclivity to use his voice to get people to just do what he wants instead of hitting them. I wasn't expecting that.
So that's another XP. And you did uncover a key, so you won't generate ruin. Wendell, did you express your monstrous nature and or your humanity?
I did.
Okay. So our XP for that. Did you learn something significant about yourself and or your impending ruin?
I do think like getting that dossier on myself is going to be very useful.
Absolutely. Mark XP. Did you learn something significant about one of your fellow monsters?
I've been struck with the same thing as trying to figure out the stars and wishes thing. I have completely forgotten the entire session.
Oh no, that's fair enough. So it would be either Samuel. Did you learn something about Samuel that strikes you, or Amanda about how they interacted with you?
I mean, I feel like I already knew that, like, Amanda is, like, insecure, kind of, maybe a bit of a coward at
Hmm.
times, and that Samael is very, like, overbearing.
Yeah, I think
Actually, that
go
that
on.
he actually gave in to, like, yeah, you should apologize to me. I think him actually going with that was new.
Yeah, yeah. Let's give you an XP for that.
I think that really reminded me of my humanity that moment, that I'm not in fact a
Mm.
god.
Absolutely. So I would like to, before we stop, do a quick stars and wishes if you want to. Again, stars being anything that you want to mention that was highlighted by another player's play or things that you saw. And wishes being anything that you'd like to see more of, anything that you would like to see less of, anything like that. And it is fair to say more of the same or pass on that, as I will admit I often do from time to time. Samuel, is it okay if I start with you?
Sure. Yeah, stars, like my favorite moment was that confrontation between Wendell and Samuel. That was really cool. Also, like how that was supported by the mechanics. That was really neat. And wishes, mm, just like the very um very vague wish, but I think we're going there anyway, is that this whole what's her name? Their name, Lilith thing comes
Hmm.
to pass, and that Lilith, maybe when we meet them, is one of these kinds of harbingers where we have to wonder if we're the baddies, you know, like that they're
Absolutely.
they're actually like a quite positive force, and the way they want to change the world might not be the worst one.
Okay. I will keep that in mind. Uh, Amanda, stars and wishes?
Yeah, stars all around, fun session. I like how Summer was always trying to be the most arrogant person in the room, and usually was succeeding. That was nice. And also I love Wendell fighting with his hunger. That's really interesting. And I think the similarities actually between him and Amanda are interesting, and I wish to see more of that, I guess. Yeah, that would be nice. Other than that, yeah, more of the same, I guess.
Okay.
Oh, and star to you, Lowell, for the character voices you did.
Oh,
There were not a lot of NPCs, but they were like nice.
oh, good, good, excellent. And Wendell.
Yeah, I particularly like those character moments we had there around the doctor. Uh, as a wish, I would like more space for the like conversation to breathe outside of using a move for it.
Yeah, I think that's certainly fair. We'll get more characters on, and we'll have it give us a little more time to breathe on that. That's certainly reasonable. Awesome. Thank you, everybody, so much. I am going to stop the recording.